Good afternoon. Another recce, this time to find a possible place to camp over, also to try out a wood stove homemade from an Ikea drainage jar. I think they were 99 pence, a poor man's wood stove with a hole cut in the side. So let's see if we can get that working. Whatever happens, why don't you come along and join me? So this is the kit. All it is an Ikea cutlery stand with a hole cut in the side for more ventilation. But you don't really need to do that. I've discovered there's enough holes for the draft to work. You just pile the debris, wood debris in the top, and it just works beautifully. I did put some feet on it. I'm not so sure that was a good idea. I might unbolt those and set it on a log, but that'll do for today. I can sink it into the turf slightly and catch any debris that falls from below. But very little ash seems to fall out of the base of it. It's lightweight, it's cheap. You don't mind if you lose it or break it, but it's pretty indestructible. And storage space inside, a good pair of fire gloves and some dry kindling. Although I'm cheating, I could have got plenty of dry kindling around here, and if I was a true bushcrafter I would have procured some nice silver birch bark or char cloth and got cracking that way, but I'm going to cheat. Why not? Why make life any more difficult than it has to be every time you go out? Oh, and of course we're harvesting a little bit of dry wood, which there's plenty lying around here. A cheap Lidl's, I think it was. Lasted me for over a year now, still sharp. I must say, cheap and cheerful. And finally, I have to make sure I don't raise my voice too much, because I'm in a shooting estate. Again, as many forests are. But it's quite a mature forest. I'm on the edge of it, and it is very much the ownership of the local aristocracy, and I'm quite sure that they wouldn't mind me being here, but I think their employees might. So I'm not going to make a lot of smoke. It'll be a clean, dry fire, I hope, a brief one, and see if I can cook up on it. So that's it. Not too much noise, not too much smoke, not to be detected, and take care of the environment. So stand by. So I found here some nice dry dead standing, but still attached to the tree, but no life in it. You can tell because it's the end has just snapped off with the weather, and it feels very light, and I know it will cut and snap very easily. The tree itself, even down here it's dry. The tree itself is sounding hollow and dry as well. Actually, I just realised this actual tree is dead standing. There's no life in it at all. It has sadly given in to the other trees and handed over its right to be here. Poor thing. But this would be very dangerous to camp under. But at least it supplies bone dry fuel, as you can see. Look at that, totally bone dry. That will go up like a rocket, as we'll soon find out. I prefer to do harvesting of dead standing because the limbs are not contacting the ground, although there there is a population of bug life boring into it, of course, but also on the ground for the birds to scrape and feed during the winter. I try to leave as much of the moss covered logs that are rotting nicely, and this gives good grub life, etc. For all the wildlife during the autumn, winter and spring. Right. Sorry about that. Well, that was a bit of a fail, I'm afraid. The fire took nicely, the sticks were perfect, but the stove is unstable, and the risk of it falling over and starting a fire is too great. Even though I've tried to protect the terrain, which I have done so far successfully, I'm just going to let it burn out and resort back to my meths and the safety of the BCB hearth and cook from that instead. But it's nice to know that if you get dry fuel, it does take, like fireworks, it does burn up quickly, nicely. So the verdict on my stove modification is not good enough. Much safer to buy a proper wood burning stove, a folding one. But if I'm going to use the poor man's hobo stove, so to speak, Ikea version, I think I'd have to firmly install it with rocks all around and base so that it was rock steady, in which case it would work. But there aren't many rocks around here, so I'm not going to go looking for that, and so I'm going to play safe, and as you can see, just let it burn down, and also keep water beside if you're in a forest in case you have to douse it quickly. But there was no smoke really, it was dry fuel as you'd expect, and just completely and utterly reliable. But goodbye to the Ikea hobo stove for today, and I will try and modify it. As you can see, it's like the Leaning Tower of Pisa today. I should mention as well the terrain pattern. This is a lightweight MTP, multi-terrain pattern. I think it is anyway, I might be wrong. Issued for the British Army. They're lightweight, they're made to wear underneath a vest with plates, you know, but also they make a nice work shirt because it keeps all the debris off and all the bugs and the scratches as you're working your way through heavy cover. But as I've said before, the MTP, as far as I'm concerned, isn't ideal for British summertime woodland, because up here in Scotland it's quite green and dark, and this is rather stands out. So I'll be dyeing this with olive green along with my comfortable combat trousers, which I prefer, and make a kind of hybrid like Mikey Roo. And Daz has done that with his gear, and I'll be doing the same. So why do I bother about wearing camouflage? I'm not trying to be a soldier, I'm not trying to be a member of Dad's army. No, I'm just trying to blend in. So when you go into a forest situation, you are virtually invisible to wildlife. So that's what it's all about. So, why does one want to be invisible and solitary? Because it's an opportunity to take an hour and reverse back to childhood and do a bit of self-analysis, an opportunity to think, without too much overthinking, but a calm kind of reflective way in order to get your head round why you're really here, the important things in life. I've said that I think once before. So that's what I do it for. I like to disappear, blend in that way, but here I am in Scotland, so the desert experience, the desert father experience I should say, for me is a forest, or a wild open moorland where you can just blend in and be away from the rat race, just for an hour or two, if not for a day or two. So that's what I'm up to, that's what I try to do, and I'm sure there are many people like me who perhaps are trying to do something rather similar. Good luck with that. Well, it's been nice having you around this afternoon. Thank you for joining me, and it's been a learning curve for me. Can't be slapdash about cooking with sticks and debris in a homemade stove unless you get it properly designed and fit for purpose. Anyway, it's been a lovely afternoon here. Do subscribe to our channel if you can. Click the like, thumbs up, and notifications, subscription, all freely, and you'll get any new films and updates as they happen. Until next time, take care and all the best, and chin chin from me.